File for divorce and take your daughter and leave. That's what Alex said as he handed me the divorce papers. Behind him, Julia was smirking. It was clear she was looking down on me, mocking me. Facing them, I avoided eye contact with Anna. Let me confirm one more time. You want to divorce and be with her, right? Yeah, that's right. You two are no longer needed. Hearing those words, I smiled. Really? I'm delighted. Way to go, Mom. And we rejoiced together. Alex and his group looked shocked. Thank you, Julia. Now I'm free. What the heck? I took your husband from you, didn't I? To say that yourself. While thinking that, I deepened my smile. Because he is. At my words, Julia looked incredulously surprised. Now, it's time for revenge. Anna and I smiled even more broadly. I am Morgan. A 41-year-old working housewife. Ever since I was young, I've dreamed of interacting with people from various countries. Because of that, I've always worked hard. Morgan really is a hard worker. Yeah, if it's Morgan, she'll surely achieve her dreams. My parents always supported me like that. They even arranged for me to interact with people from abroad, for which I am truly grateful. Then, I got a job at a multinational company. Morgan, you always shine. You seem to love your job. At that company, I met Alex, who would become my husband. He was a year older and always took care of me. Yes, I've always had a dream of interacting with people from different countries. Now, it's really fun. Is that so? I like that you're such a hard worker. Really? Are you serious? When he confessed, I was surprised. Until then, I hadn't considered him in that way, I just thought he was a kind man. I know you don't see me as a man, but I'd be happy if you could start to think of me that way. True to his word, I started to see him in that light. I've come to like you too. Really? For real? After a while, I responded like that, and he beamed with joy. Seeing that, I thought I could build a happy family with Alex. With that thought, we married after several years of dating. Eventually, we were blessed with a lovely daughter. Hey, Mom. I want to learn French. My daughter, who resembles me, asked me. From a young age, she was very interested in French and wanted to start attending a language school. Hey, Anna. Mom knows someone from France. Wanna meet? I'd love to. When I introduced her to a foreign acquaintance, she jumped for joy. Seeing her like that reminded me of my younger self. Anna is similar to me. Of course. My daughter giggled at my words. Seeing her smile, I felt truly happy from the bottom of my heart. Here we go again. I sighed as I looked at the clothes scattered on the floor. I knew who they belonged to. Come on, Alex. I always tell you to put your clothes in the washing machine. Alex was sloppily sitting on the couch, messing with his phone. When I pointed it out, he made a face as if it were a hassle. I was gonna clean up later. Stop nagging. You always say that, but never do it. You nag so much that I lose the will to do it. Saying that, Alex turned his gaze back to his phone. Darn it, I missed, he muttered, likely playing a mobile game. At that, I sighed again. Mom, I'll take care of this. Then Anna said that as she picked up Alex's clothes. I felt bad having my high school daughter clean up after her father. At the same time, I felt angry at Alex. He wasn't like this at the beginning. Despite my daughter cleaning up after him, he still wouldn't move. Seeing Alex like that, I inadvertently muttered. During our cohabitation, Alex had been proactive about household chores, often doing them before I even asked. Whenever I thanked him, he'd laugh and say, "It's just what you do." He was even more proactive when we first got married, and when I was pregnant, he'd say, "Morgan, just sit. I'll take care of the chores." That's how much he changed after Anna was born. A girl? Yes, she's adorable. She'll definitely be beautiful. Alex rushed to the hospital when he heard the news of the labor. He was frozen as he looked at our baby Anna in my arms. At first, I thought he was too moved to speak, but then he said, "Isn't it a boy?" I was the one surprised this time. I had already told him that the baby was going to be a girl. And Alex had said, "I see," so he should have known. "I've been telling you it's a girl for a while now, haven't I?" "Well, I've heard stories where it turned out different once the baby was born. I guess I was hoping it would be a boy and convinced myself of it." When I heard that, I thought, what is he talking about? And because it was right after giving birth, I yelled at Alex. "I've told you many times it's a girl. And if you prefer a boy. Are you saying you don't want this child?" "I didn't say that, did I?" As a result, we had such a big argument that the nurses had to stop us. We quickly calmed down and apologized to each other, which spared us a divorce, but our relationship changed significantly after that. "Could you at least help a little around the house? I'm working enough for both of us. House chores are your job since you're not working." He started to abandon the housework he had once been so proactive about. He began saying, housework and childcare are your responsibilities, and wouldn't even clean up his dishes. As I struggled with the unfamiliar tasks of childcare, he would complain, "The laundry is piling up or the house isn't clean. Enough already. I'm already exhausted from the unfamiliar childcare. I can't take care of a big kid too." When I said that crying, Alex looked guilty. From that day on, he started doing the bare minimum around the house. And although awkward, he began to play with Anna and finally started acting like a father. Lately, Anna has been getting a bit cheeky, hasn't she? For a while, we lived amicably as a family. But when Anna grew up a bit and started showing interest in French, Alex grumbled as if he disliked it. "What's cheeky about that? I think it's a good thing. Because it's French, right? Even if a girl is good at studying, what's the point?" I was instantly annoyed, feeling as if he was belittling me. But I couldn't get angry in front of my daughter, so I tried to respond calmly. "Are you talking about me?" "Not really." After saying that, Alex looked like he regretted his words and turned away sullenly. Alex had always been conscious of my higher education. When we met, he would say, "That's the result of your hard work and I respect that about you." But now, my higher education seemed to be complex for him. "I'm glad I studied. Thanks to that, I've achieved my dreams and started a beautiful family." When I said that, Alex snorted. "In the end, you gave up on those dreams, didn't you?" That made me angry, and I glared at him. Then he made a regretful face again. "Who do you think made me give up?" At that time, I was a full-time housewife. The reason was to take care of the household and my in-laws. At that time, my father-in-law had become bedridden due to illness, and someone needed to help. My mother-in-law had a bad back, and Alex's brother, my brother-in-law, had died in an accident. So, the care of my father-in-law fell to us. "Could you take care of him just while we look for a facility?" At that time, I was still on maternity leave and not working. And Alex was in charge of a crucial business deal. So, at his request, I took on the care of my father-in-law. "Because of that, I had to quit my job, right?" As if being on maternity leave wasn't enough, I was left behind by others, and now I was on caregiving leave. And the period until we found a facility was so vague that I was subtly pressured to resign. Then, after discussing it with Alex, I became a full-time housewife to take care of Anna and my father-in-law. And to be spoken to like that without even a thank you. Okay, I get it. I won't say anything anymore." Alex ended the conversation as if it were annoying. After that, he stopped making any comments about Anna. That's how I got angry at Alex's behavior, and he would reflect and watch his actions. We've repeated these days, and we are still continuing our married life. I'm just so tired now. Perhaps because we've gone through this so many times, I'm tired of getting angry over every little thing. Still, as I continued to argue, Anna started to take initiative before Alex. "Mom, you're tired, right? I can handle it," she said, offering to help. Eventually, while I reprimanded and Alex made excuses, Anna would clean up, and that became the norm. This isn't fair to Anna. That's what I thought, so I decided to take action. First, Anna and I needed enough income to live on. However, if I went out to work, Alex might say, "Don't do unnecessary things." So, I decided to work using connections from an acquaintance. I'm actually being transferred. Just as I started working and it was going well, Alex's transfer was decided. I can't go with you. There's your father to think about, and Anna has school. I understand. I plan to go alone for now. I'll leave things here to you. And so, Alex's solo assignment was set. Despite the distance, we kept in touch regularly, and the weekends Alex came home were peaceful because of the space between us. I never thought just being apart from Alex would reduce my stress this much. I was no longer irritated by Alex's actions, and he wasn't scolded by me. Anna, having no one to defy, had more freedom, thriving in her own space. Maybe I should have put some distance between us sooner. Maybe. You've been smiling a lot more lately. We had become accustomed to our new life and were enjoying peaceful days. Then one day, Anna and I decided to visit Alex where he was stationed. There's a concert there by a singer I love. Anna begged to go because of that. I planned to surprise Alex by visiting without telling him. Is that? No way! And then we saw something unbelievable. Anna, shall we go back? Is that okay? Yes, instead let's get back quickly and think about what to do next. We then decided to change our plans abruptly and head home. There, we discussed our next steps and made a certain decision. I'm going back to that house now. Just get ready to leave. What? Suddenly, I received such a message from Alex. Mom, what's wrong? Dad sent a message. I showed Anna the message from Alex. As soon as she read it, she frowned. I'll get ready then. Understanding my true intentions, Anna said with a smile. I nodded back with a smile. A few hours later, Alex arrived home with a woman, a young child, and a lot of luggage. It's been a while. Can I ask who these people and this luggage are? We're going to live in this house from now on. According to Alex, the woman's name was Julia. Apparently Alex's lover, and the young boy with her was named Nathan, Alex's son. She looks quite young. How old is she? I'm 23, and by the way, this child is 3. So, Alex had been cheating for over 3 years and got a 20-year-old pregnant. To think he went after someone over a decade younger. As I internally scoffed at the situation, Alex grinned. File for divorce and take your daughter and leave. That's what Alex said as he handed me the divorce papers. Behind him, Julia was smirking. It was clear they were looking down on me, mocking me. Seeing them, Anna and I exchanged glances. Let me confirm one more time. You want to divorce and be with her, right? Yeah, that's right. You two are no longer needed. Hearing those words, I smiled. Really? Delighted? Way to go, Mom! And we rejoiced together. Alex and his group looked shocked. Thank you, Julia. Now I am free. What the heck? I took your husband from you, didn't I? To say that yourself. While thinking that, I deepened my smile. Because he is. At my words, Julia looked incredulously surprised. Now, it's time for revenge. Anna and I smiled even broader. He's about to be fired from his company. As I said that, the two of them froze. What? I'm getting fired? What are you talking about? Did you think I knew nothing? That day, Anna and I saw Alex and Julia walking together, cuddling. Between them was little Nathan, looking like a happy family. That's why I used my connections to investigate you too. They probably never thought they would get caught. When I started digging, the evidence just poured out. It seems you've already claimed to be divorced from me at work. I, busy with caregiving and my job, hadn't kept in touch with people from my old company. So, I didn't realize this until I started investigating. Thrown out by me and my daughter, and then you remarried her, right? That is. I heard it from a former colleague. How you've painted me as the villain because I quit my job to take care of your father. According to my former colleague, I quit my job on a whim. I raised Anna my way, and now she ignores him. He couldn't stand it and divorced me. It seems everyone believed that story and felt sorry for you. That's why no one tried to contact me. Unfortunately for you, I've already told everyone the truth. What? Your boss was furious, saying, I offered advice, and this is how I'm repaid. Alex went pale at my words. He likely took advantage of the kindness of a boss who always claimed to be there for advice. Unnecessary. I'm supposed to start working at the headquarters next week. What face am I supposed to show up with? Well, you can go with that shameless face of yours. That's why you're being sent back to headquarters. I had Alex called back from his solo assignment to confront him with these facts. Naturally, he would be looked down upon for deceiving everyone. Moreover, during the investigation, it came out that he met Julia at work and they had an affair during working hours. Your boss said he won't forgive you. And you too, Julia, for approaching Alex knowing he was married. Julia flinched at my words. Little Nathan looked up at her. He's been unusually quiet. A child around 3 would usually be making more noise. Nathan, right? Hello. Anna, probably curious, squatted down to speak to Nathan, who cautiously looked up at Julia. Well, don't talk to my son like that. Unlike you, he's the important heir. Julia hastily pulled Nathan away, and he accepted it without resistance. He must be used to Julia's overbearing important heir talk. Well, it's like this, so I'll divorce you without you asking. This house is in your name, and since you're paying the mortgage, I'll leave. With that, I signaled to Julia with my eyes. I had already explained the situation to my parents, who said, you can come back anytime. Well, I doubt you'll be happy, but try to be. Don't show up in front of me as a father again. Leaving a speechless Alex behind, we left the house. Soon after, Alex contacted me again. I was wrong. Won't you come back? I ignored that message. Anna also received a message from him, but she ignored it as well. Please, just hear me out. Perhaps frustrated, Alex came to my parents' house. I let him in, worried about the neighbors' eyes. Fortunately, Anna was out, and my parents stood by me as allies. So, what do you want? If it's reconciliation, it's not happening. Don't say that. Just hear me out, please. Alex began to ramble about his current situation. As expected, he and Julia were involved in workplace affairs and slander against me, leading to his firing. Despite that, Julia keeps saying Nathan needs it and buys everything, setting our finances on fire. That was my reaction, so what? And Julia doesn't do any housework, and regarding the care of your father, she says, you, his son, should do it. Oh, really? That's why things are tense with your parents, and the atmosphere at home is awful. Originally, Alex's parents were sensible people who always apologized for any trouble caused to me. And they tried to lessen my burden by working hard at rehabilitation, which has largely recovered them. So unnecessary. I'm truly sorry about that fool. I'll make sure they take responsibility. When I reported about Alex, my father-in-law had said that perhaps he's pretending not to have recovered to torment Alex and Julia. Isn't that giving up too easily? What? You haven't taken responsibility yet. The responsibility of a father in child support. When I spoke coldly, Alex looked shocked. He probably never thought I'd ask. What are you surprised about? Just take responsibility. But if we get back together, I won't need it, right? I have no intention of getting back together. This time, Alex looked hurt. But seeing his face, I felt nothing. All I felt was pity that a grown man could be so pitiful. But Anna will still need money, right? It must be hard for you to make ends meet since you were a housewife. Unfortunately for you, I stopped being a housewife a long time ago. What? The job I chose that day was in translation. I've learned multiple languages and regularly read books written in various languages. So, translation work has not been hard for me. I'm only grateful to the acquaintance who introduced me to this job. The job started when my foreign-born husband mentioned he was looking for someone to do translations. Now, I've become a popular translator handling multiple projects. Thanks to that, I earn enough.
Morgan makes that much?
Yeah, I'm quite popular.
Then you don't need any money.
Hearing this, Alex snapped. He even started saying nonsensically that with such earnings, he could become a housewife. Just as I was about to retort angrily.
Enough already.
My father shouted first. His forcefulness made Alex close his mouth.
I sent my daughter to be happy with you. After betraying such an important daughter, you come crawling back now? Have some shame.
With that, my father chased Alex away. Alex ran out of my house in tears. Seeing his pathetic figure made my anger dissolve into laughter.
Morgan is truly strong.
Seeing me, my father smiled reassuringly. After that, Alex stopped coming to our house. Apparently, my father scared him quite a bit. I wish I was there too. I told Anna about Alex's visit when she came home later. She seemed frustrated she missed it.
I'm glad I didn't have to see such a pathetic sight. I wanted to say what I'd been thinking all this time.
For Anna, life with Alex had been stressful.
He pretended to care, but because I was a girl, he clearly looked down on me.
According to Anna, Alex always said, "You're a girl, so you should do the housework." Not only that, but he occasionally disrupted her studies. He said, studying is a waste of time, and made me pick up his clothes. Initially, Anna was irritated, but realized it wasn't worth engaging. If she cleaned up before being told, he couldn't interrupt her studies. That's why she decided to proactively deal with Alex's mess.
That's how it was. Sorry I didn't notice. It's okay. I was becoming stubborn and didn't tell you.
After laughing, Anna apologized again as I recalled Alex's actions. Every time I scolded, he pretended to reflect on his behavior. But I feel like from the start, Alex wanted a son. My father often said, if it had been a boy, he could have been the heir. Caring about an heir was mostly Alex's concern. Well, I kind of expected it.
It might be influenced by Alex's grandmother, who would be the great-grandmother.
My mother-in-law once mentioned,
my mother was the type who cared too much about having an heir.
Initially, my mother-in-law doted on Alex's older brother. Alex always looked at that with envy.
But after that boy went to heaven due to an accident, things changed.
She began to dote on Alex. And she kept saying, make sure to have a boy and continue the family name. That's why Alex wanted a son. But what was born was a lovely daughter.
If Anna had a brother, it could have been tough.
I was too busy and mentally didn't have the room to hope for a second child.
But I did hope a little. I wanted siblings.
Anna said, laughing. Her childhood dream would be fulfilled in an unexpected way.
I can't stand it anymore. I don't need this child, you take him.
Julia came to my house and left Nathan behind. Apparently, the recent incident had drastically changed her life, and she was under considerable stress. The money I demanded was the last straw.
Can't catch a new man with a kid. Too much trouble.
Even though she tried to win over Alex's parents, they firmly refused. Her own parents had disowned her for her infidelity. As a result, Julia found a new man and left Nathan behind.
I guess I should contact Alex.
So I reached out to Alex.
Impossible. I can't afford to raise a child. You're a father, aren't you supposed to take responsibility? It's impossible.
Alex, burdened with debt from paying, had no capacity to raise Nathan after being kicked out by my father and just starting a part-time job.
But if Morgan and I got back together, that's out of the question. I won't reconcile with someone who refuses to take responsibility as a father.
I told him this and hung up the phone. Who would remarry such a selfish person? As I thought about this, Nathan came to mind. I considered taking him in. I considered taking him in. I think it's a good idea. Even if he's only half related, he feels like my brother. I can't just leave him. That was the decision Anna and I made. When we told my parents, they agreed. Hello, Nathan. From today, I'm going to be your mom. Nathan looked down shyly. It was only our second meeting, but he was unusually subdued for a child.
It seems Julia was very strict.
Always monitoring and sometimes yelling at Nathan. He seems to have lost his childlike spirit because of it. His grandparents were concerned but lacked the energy to raise a child. Julia's parents had disowned her during her divorce and refused any more support. With that, I decided to take Nathan in. It might be hard to believe at first. But from now on, let's work hard together as a family. With these words, I welcomed Nathan. Now that our family has grown, we'll support each other from here on out. Nathan looked up at me, and Anna nodded with a smile. Sometime later, a message from Alex arrived. It said, "I want to live with my beautiful children."
That's what he says.
I showed the message to Anna and Nathan. Both made faces of dislike.
He's not my father.
Me neither.
I don't want to be with him.
With that response, I sent the same message back to Alex. He sent a pleading message back, but I replied, "You're just reaping the consequences of your selfish actions," and then I blocked him. I hope he lives a lonely life. I pushed thoughts of Alex to the back of my mind and focused on the children. Years later, Alex faced the consequences of his own actions.
It seems like Alex was forced to quit his job. I don't think he has the means to come here anymore.
Apparently, Alex borrowed money from loan sharks. Because of that, debt collectors showed up at his workplace, and he was fired. He went back to his parents' home once, but was kicked out.
On his way back, he was caught by the debt collectors and taken somewhere.
Since then, Alex has been missing. Julia also faced dire consequences. She lost her savings, ran off with a new man, but that ended badly. Furthermore, a group of her victims apparently attacked her. Julia had deceived many men and exploited them, leaving behind many victims. However, Julia no longer had any means to repay them, as she had lost everything. Now burdened with debt herself, she spends her days working from dawn to dusk in loneliness. I had my in-laws regularly update me on their situation.
I'm glad they got what they deserved.
"What's up, Mom? You seem happy." Nathan approached me with a curious look. Since taking him in, he has transformed into a child who smiles often. "I love you, Nathan." "Me too. I'm happy to have a brother like Nathan." I would tell him this daily. And gradually, he began to smile more. "Something good happened?"
If you're happy, Mom, I'm happy too.
Nathan now always has a big smile on his face. And I return it while patting his head. Anna will be home soon.
Great! I'll help out then.
Despite having Alex's blood, Nathan has grown into a much better child than one could compare. I feel happy being able to watch his growth with my daughter and parents. I'm home. I'm starving.
Welcome back! Welcome back, Anna!
And so, Nathan and I welcomed Anna back home. Years later, Anna became a professional and married a wonderful man, far surpassing Alex.
It's all thanks to Mom that I've grown so much.
She said at her wedding, bringing tears to my eyes. Now, she and her husband travel the world for work. Meanwhile, Nathan has enrolled in a prestigious university. Blood doesn't make a family. I consider Mom and my sister my true family. Nathan moved out when he started university, but we still keep in touch. He just told me with a big smile that he has a girlfriend. Now, Nathan smiles freely and spends his days contentedly. He and Anna are my pride and joy.
It seems I made the right decision back then.
And as for me, I remarried a friend from abroad and now live overseas.
Leaving Alex was definitely the right choice.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have this happiness. Now I need to reply to Nathan. Maybe when I visit home next time, it would be good to meet Nathan's girlfriend. I'll discuss this with my current husband right away.
I need to finish up some work first.
Thankfully, people still seek me out for translation work. And so, I returned to my dream job.